Lydia, who, meanwhile, there is this. The Senate Finance Committee unveiling the text of President Trump's big, beautiful bill yesterday. The new text includes major tax reforms, even steeper cuts to Medicaid than the House called for. Other key differences include an increase in the child tax credit and a lower cap of the state and local tax deduction. Now back down to $10,000 on salt. That's down from the House's $40,000 cap. The bill also helps small businesses and job creators with provisions such as cutting tax burdens to unleash small business growth, reshoring American manufacturing, ending the war on the gig economy, and no tax on tips or overtime. Joining me now is U.S. Small Business Administration's Administrator Kelly Loeffler. Kelly, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Great to be with you this morning, Maria. Thank you.
What is your assessment of what you're hearing from the Senate in terms of these new changes and its impact on small business?
Well, this bill is incredibly important. It'll deliver the largest tax cut in American history for our job creators and for working families. And as you just mentioned, it's small businesses. Look, these small business provisions, including making the pass-through deduction permanent, will unleash Main Street, including adding 1 million jobs, $750 billion in economic growth, not to mention what it does for working families. It puts on average $13,000 back into the pockets of hardworking families across this country. And so my message is that this one big beautiful bill is pro-small business, it's pro-worker, and it puts America first by increasing the immediate expensing of investments in America. And that's what we need right now, because President Trump is already working on fair trade, on making sure we're deregulating. Now tax cuts, that's the #1 concern of small businesses, is taxes. For the first time in 4 years, thanks to President Trump getting inflation under control.
Yeah, for sure. Kelly, another part of the bill is what you just mentioned. That's the 23% pass-through deduction for qualified business income. Talk to us about how significant that is for small business. I want to get your take on what this means for those businesses who many of those owners are our viewers. And this is a big deal in terms of what their bottom line looks like.
You're absolutely right, Maria. It's vital. This Section 199A pass-through deduction creates certainty for small businesses so that they can invest in their businesses, so that they can hire. Small businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in America. It lets them invest and grow. So this pass-through, making that permanent, creates certainty for small businesses that big corporations have in their tax rate. We owe that to small businesses. There are job creators on Main Street. I've been traveling across the country nonstop since I got in. I was in Louisiana yesterday. I'm in Florida today, meeting with job creators, talking to them about the investments that they're going to make, whether it's in restaurant equipment, whether it's investing in Made in America factories, whether it's hiring and training workers for our new collar boom. You know, President Trump created the blue collar boom in his first term, and now we're building advanced manufacturing in America, and so we're going to need that immediate expensing that goes along with making these tax cuts permanent.
Any thoughts, Kelly, on Section 899? This is another issue that lots of big businesses are worried about, and I wonder how you see this read on it. This is the retaliatory tax. They're delaying it a year, and the maximum tax is capped at 15%. Though it would still start at 5% and rise by 500 basis points a year until it hits the cap. Some banks are worried about this in terms of what the impact is to foreign investors potentially investing in those small businesses.
Well, Maria, we have to make sure that America is competing on a level playing field around the world. That's certainly what President Trump's doing with his fair trade agenda, which is working for small businesses for the first time in decades. Similarly, we have to make sure our tax code doesn't disadvantage small businesses. And I think that's between the House and the Senate negotiations. I think that's what they're focused on, is leveling this playing field. We have seen activist taxation on a global perspective. We have to make sure that the U.S. tax code works for U.S. small businesses. Again, there are job creators. They're the ones making this economy turn in terms of innovation and growth. And this economy is spring-loaded, but we need this tax bill to ensure that small businesses can make those investments and have the access to the capital that they need. As you point out, we have to make sure that we protect that for small business.
It's a great point. Kelly, real quick before you go, what would your assessment be of the small business community today? Are they expecting a positive or a good second half of the year?
Absolutely, Maria. We see small business optimism in the most recent NFIB survey above the 51-year average. We've seen their top concern shift after 4 years of inflation being number one. It's now taxes. And that's the urgency because, again, small businesses are spring-loaded to invest and
Great
hire.
point.
I see it every day as I meet with small businesses. They're ready to go. We need this tax bill passed now.
Absolutely. Kelly, great to have you this morning. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Maria.
We're watching the Senate's moves on all of that. Kelly Loeffler, thank you so much. We're just getting started this hour.